Seattle Bike Expo started about 22 years ago with a bunch of dedicated volunteers who wanted to put on a show for the community where cyclists can socialize, find out about the latest rides. And today is our 22nd anniversary. We've gone from 1,500 people 22 years ago, where we expect about 8,000 people today.
Bike Expo is a consumer expo. It's showing people all things bike, from gear to tech to bags to bikes. It's been around for a long time. We've run this event for a couple of decades now. It's just a great opportunity for people to come and check things out at the beginning of the year.
Seattle Bicycle Expo has been a Cascade Bicycle Club production since its inception. It's put on by volunteers, now managed by staff, run by over 200 dedicated volunteers. It's an event that really could only be put on by an organization such as Cascade that has the 12,000 members, that has the community access. It's an integral part of the Northwest bicycling scene. It's a kickoff. We have at least 100 other nonprofits who come to Seattle Bike Expo who use this event to kick off their cycling season. It's a wonderful opportunity for them to market their event, and it's a great opportunity for us to get our message out. We have bike vendors come from all over the country, mainly the Northwest. We have people flying in as far as Brooklyn, Florida. We have people flying in from all over the country. The Seattle Bike Expo is now the biggest consumer bicycle show in the United States. We have a lot of people who, there's like a community deal going on where you have a lot of local vendors that are making really unique stuff. So handmade clothing, bags, jewelry with a bicycle theme. It's really great. I've seen at least a dozen of them here today. And it's like a cottage industry for Seattle, and it's going to be fantastic. Creates jobs. A lot of the stuff like Alchemy Goods, for instance, they make their bags and jewelry out of recycled bicycle tires. So really, it's just fabulous to see it.
Cascade Bicycle Club was founded 40 years ago on Mercer Island as an advocacy organization, a group of people who enjoyed riding their bikes that thought that we needed to do more to make bicycling better. The Cascade Bicycle Club's mission is to create better communities through bicycling. For 4 decades, we've done that. We have 26 staff, more than 12,000 members. We do everything from in-school bicycle programs. We run Bike to Work Day through the King County region with more than 20,000 participants. We have a full-time lobbying presence in Olympia, Washington, and have pushed through hundreds of millions of dollars in projects in the region. Biking's been around since the end of the 19th century. It's been 120, 130 years. Wheels are easy, they're efficient, and it is, when you compare it to walking, it's more efficient to ride. You can go a little bit faster, you can go a little further, but with the same simplicity as walking out the door in a pair of shoes. You can walk out the door in a pair of shoes, grab your helmet, throw your leg over a bike, and be places faster. It puts more places within more destinations within your travel shed. So, been around for a long time, it's going to continue to be around for a long time, and it's really the resurgence after the sort of auto-dominated couple of generations has been really strong.
Bicycling has been popular for almost 100 years now because really it's such a fun, healthy way to get around. That's never going to change. Just about anybody can learn how to ride a bike, and if they get a few other skills such as bike safety and the like, they'll even have a better time.
Cascade Bicycle Club has worked with the City of Seattle and others throughout the region on developing plans, the Seattle Bicycle Master Plan being one of the best in the region, one of the best in the country, to incorporate bike facilities onto streets, to complete our urban trails network. Really, you need routes that connect people from where they are to where they want to go. It can't just be one path that goes from a park over here to a park over there. That's not going to build bicycling. We have roads that lead from every doorstep to every doorstep, but those roads need to be made safe for everyone out there. Complete streets, there is an ordinance that Cascade Bicycle Club worked on with the city that says that all of our public roadways, our public rights of way, should be safe and convenient for everyone, whether you're on foot, on bike, transit, driving a car, delivering goods with a truck. And that's that step towards integrating bicycling into the way we manage that public space that ends at one curb and begins at the next. Our Green Bikes program that we did through King County, people that agreed to change their commute pattern were given a bike. I mean, again, hundreds of thousands of pounds of carbon. Every mile he drives about a pound of carbon. If the average household drives 15,000 miles a year, what is that, 7.5 tons of carbon. Being able to switch just a few of those trips every day can cut your carbon footprint by 1/3 from transportation. And transportation is the leading source of greenhouse gas emissions in the central Puget Sound, more than half, come from cars. We will not be able to meet our greenhouse gas goals in the region without seriously changing the way we move people. And taking a 2-ton cup holder to move a 150-pound person isn't sustainable. A 30-pound bike is.
Well, Cascade Bike Club has been working since its inception. We're an advocacy group, so we represent the cyclists of Seattle. We have an advocacy team that sit down with the city planner, the city of Seattle. The bicycle master plan that's in effect right now, that $150 million has been put into, has been advised, has been set up with help from the Cascade Bike Club and other local advocacy groups. You really need to kind of sit down with the planners, and so when you develop a master plan for a community, you take into account pedestrians and cyclists, because we represent 30 or 40% of the public, maybe even 50%. So it's really important that you take into account with planning and streets and roads something we call a complete streets ordinance. It's something that we have pushed. We ask for government agencies to take into account bicycles and pedestrians.
We always say at the Cascade Bicycle Club, you want to be visible and be predictable. You operate within the generally accepted rules. There are uniform rules. If you're going to ride on the streets, you're a vehicle. Obey traffic controls, stay in a place where you're visible, don't make sudden movements, lights, helmet, check your gear, the ABC check, air, brakes, chain, the little things. But it's not, injuries, crashes aren't all that frequent, thankfully. Pretty safe out there on a bike. With just a few small changes, you can make yourself even safer. Technology in bicycling has stayed very much the same. The safety bike, the 2 triangles and 2 wheels, stayed very much the same for a long time. What has changed is the materials changed, lighter materials, then more features, more gears. And what we're seeing now, the evolution, right behind me, bikes, more people are buying bikes with fenders, bikes with racks, bikes that they can do more things with. So we're seeing a return to some simplicity, the European style city bikes, but that you can get on and ride without having to worry about, rolling up your pant leg, because they have chain covers, they have internal gears, so you don't have to worry about adjusting derailleurs. And we see more of that combining features with simplicity and being able to use bikes for more things is where I believe it's going. There will always be the high-tech carbon, titanium race bikes, all of that. That's great. But the bikes that the average person can own and use to get around and use to go around the block and down the street and to work, we're seeing, those are the big changes we're seeing. We're seeing the utility come back to bikes.